A turnover. They called for 8 seconds. Steve mentioned the success they had against them in their contest a year ago. They did exactly what they needed to do against them.
Yep, it was a solid performance from them. Most times they got together. They should have them feeling good about their chances today.
Here's Noel, and that one's good. Noel's got the scoreboard going with his first points of the night for the 76ers. Now Walker. Pass to Jefferson. There's Gordon with the 3. With the fadeaway. Off the left rim and out. So the 76ers, their last game, a loss to the Bulls in Chicago.
You know, they couldn't do any better than a shooting percentage in the low 30s that night, guys. And that's pretty much a death sentence.
You're exactly right, Steve. I mean, it's almost hard to shoot that poorly. What was supposed to be a fresh start for Jason Richardson last year never really came to fruition, guys. I mean, not very far into the year, he had a bad injury to his left knee and had to close things down for the season.
And Walker kicks to Gordon. The shot's good on the assist by Walker. Gordon's got himself on the board with 3 there.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Young outside. For 3, West. Can't hit. Charlotte's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Kid Gilchrist dishes to Walker. And again, Charlotte with the triple. And for Richardson, surgery last season to repair a cartilage tear in his left knee when he played for Philadelphia.
Well, in his prime, he was one of the most explosive leapers in the NBA. Former dunk contest champion. He began to lean on his three-point shooting as his career went on. Been a very productive player over the years.
Last outing for Charlotte, they won that game against the Magic.
You know, so often in the NBA we talk about how you have to earn your points the hard way, but it didn't seem like that was the case. Everything came pretty easily.
Too many of their points came the easy way, Steve. You're right. On dunks and layups against the defense that didn't really put up much resistance.
He's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
Charlotte's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. Knocked loose and stolen by Noel. West kicks to Richardson, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Richardson's got 8 points.
He's feeling it here to start the game. That's 3 out of 4 already.
It's Kid Gilchrist on the wing. Got that one up quick. Here's Richardson. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Bulls in Chicago. Passes it to Noel. Outside Turner. The 3. Zeller grabs the board. Charlotte trailing. Outside Gordon. Shoots the 3. Rebound by Delonte West. 76ers have gone 50% from the field at this point. 4 of 8. Richardson kicks to Turner. Jacks up a 3. That's good from West on the assist by Turner. West just got himself on the board with 3 there.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
And now West pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
Yeah, I think that's what's keyed this run, Clark, because they're keeping the ball moving. Defense hasn't been able to set up.
Now here's Walker. An 11-point game for him in the win against Orlando.
Heads-up play there, guys, on the assist and the finish.
The 76ers leading by 4. West with the ball. He's picked up by Walker. There's West. And again, it's Philadelphia.
And the story of this game in the early stages is just how well they've been shooting the ball.
Steve, their percentage from the floor is really impressive up to this point.
Now here's Gordon. 8 points his last outing. 1:53 left here in the first quarter. Young passes to Turner. Can't hit. Jefferson with some nice D.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
Walker's shot is off. For Philadelphia, they've gone 7 of 12 from the field here in the first quarter. It's Delonte West on the wing. Back to Richardson. From outside, off the mark.
Boy, that's a surprising miss right there. He usually feasts on those wide open opportunities.
And it's out of bounds to the Bobcats as Charlotte retains possession.
A look here at last year in the NBA where the Bobcats ranked. 6th in blocks, 8th and lowest turnovers per game. As far as free throw shooting as a team goes, not a strong suit. Top 20 in the league. A little bit of work to be done there.
And what really stands out is the blocks for me, because that's a team that really dominated the paint area. And when they were on top of their game, they were very physical. They fronted the post a lot, forced some difficult shots at the rim. And due to their length and their size, they were able to block a lot of shots down there.
And now the first timeout called here for the Bobcats.
Well, you know, this last offseason, the Bobcats announced their intention to change the team name to the Hornets, reclaiming the name of the original Charlotte franchise that left for New Orleans in 2002.
Bobcats have changed their look on the floor. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, Steve Clifford was just going over the game plan with his team. He said to them, the pick and roll is going to be our bread and butter today. If we run it effectively, they will not have an answer for it. He told them also they should be swarming to the basket at the offensive end. He wants a lot of bodies inside. We'll be watching how these adjustments work. Kev, there's still a lot of time left in this game.
Thank you, Doris. Here's Hawes. And a missed layup. Bobcats trail by 4. Walker dishes to McRoberts. Back to Walker. Jacks up a 3. Good. Walker's got 6. And just like New Orleans chose a name, the Pelicans, that has local significance, the Hornets, a historical reference to Charlotte's rebellious fighting spirit during the American Revolution. Steve, you just talking to me about this. Fascinates you.
It does. I'm an American history buff, Kevin, and I'm also an NBA history buff. And you think back to the Hornets in Charlotte originally, they sold out for 9 straight seasons. So the Hornets nickname absolutely belongs in Charlotte.
Now Carter Williams after the missed 3 from Gordon. Carter Williams kicks to Allen. Shot clock at 6. Here's Hawes. That one goes. Count. Hawes got his first basket of the night. Here's Walker. 6 points for him. And it's Gordon missing. Offense, the order of the day as the first quarter comes to a close. 76ers lead by 6. Live from Philadelphia, you're watching 2K Sports. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Philadelphia.
You know, guys, we've really seen them do a lot of damage in the paint so far.
Yeah, their passing has been terrific too, Clark. We're seeing a lot of assists, really moving, a lot of flow offensively. I like what I see.
They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it inbounds that time.
And an opportunity to check out some stats on Gerald Henderson. Last season's performance for him, he put up about 15 points a game last season, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. When you have a shooter like him off the bench, it makes finding points a lot easier.
Well, Steve, you know, things can get stagnant without offense coming off the bench, and he always can supply some shooting.
Carter Williams is out there with Tony Roten. Then it's White. Then there's Spencer Hawes. And it's Anderson in at the 3 spot. That's the group for Philadelphia to start the second quarter. Now here's Roten. Off target from outside. Sessions with it. Now guarded by Anderson. And that one's good by Henderson. Now Carter Williams.
You know, for a guy drafted in the second round, Ramon Sessions has carved out really an outstanding career. A smooth operator offensively. He keeps defenders off balance and has a great knack for drawing fouls. And I like the fact he knows how to use his size in getting to the rim and drawing fouls.
Here's Moultrie. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Well, going back to Sessions, you know, he's got nice size for a point guard.
Probably about 6'1", but, you know, he's got good speed. He's been a productive point guard in the league, bounced around a little bit. but one thing you know is that he will produce for you when he's out on the floor.
He's off on the first. Second free throw, no good.
Boy, 76ers had a season they'd like to soon forget. But the one thing they were able to do last year was win at home. Good thing, too, given how unforgiving Philadelphia fans can be. No tougher sports fans in all of sports than Philadelphia.
The 76ers leading by 4. West kicks to Moultrie. Pass to Richardson. Richardson off a pick from Moultrie. There's the three. That's Biyombo with the rebound. And back to the 76ers at home. Never a good idea to be under 500 at home in a city that has booed Santa Claus before. Steve, luckily they were able to avoid that, going 23-18 here last season.
Maybe Santa Claus had a bad year that year, Kevin. I don't know. But look, I mean, if you're stinking it up in front of Philly fans, they're going to let you know. I mean, they're going to boo you. They're brutally honest. On the flip side, though, when you play well, they're going to back you.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burt. Doris, what do you have?
Guys, one of the big surprises on draft night was seeing Nerlens Noel out of Kentucky, a player who'd long been talked about as the favorite to go #1, fall all the way to #6. And then he got traded to Philadelphia. His recovery from ACL surgery, clearly a concern for teams. But he's in a great situation in Philly and playing with a chip on his shoulder. Asked about his feelings on the teams that passed on him, he said, "I'm gonna make them pay." Kevin, we'll see.
And sometimes he takes that motivation from the doubters. A good way to motivate us. So, thanks, Doris. Shots good from West.
His shooting's been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons his team is up in this game.
Bobcats trail by 3. Sessions passes to Henderson. That doesn't go on the chance to tie. Philadelphia has gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. West kicks to White. He dishes it to Richardson. Back to White. Now here's West. He's covered by Biyombo. 4 on the clock. They get it back, and Brendan Haywood is going to pick up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. Zeller, he's checked in for the Bobcats. Margot comes in for Gerald Henderson. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Doubled by Biyombo. Now here's West. 9 points in the game so far. Back to Turner. Kicks it to Young. That's good. And the 76ers lead by 5.
Yeah, and he's one player who doesn't need a lot of space to get to the basket. He's really crafty. The way he can blast his way straight through traffic, he's really strong.
And I also think he might have played a little football, Steve, because he's excellent at intercepting passes. I mean, that seems to be his calling card defensively.
And here's Richardson following the 3 from Sessions. And that one's good. Noel.
You know, he's not somebody they lean on for points, but when he does score, that's a bonus.
Bobcats trail by 4.
Nerlens Noel, one of those players that has become so valuable in the NBA. A mobile defender who can get out to the perimeter, guard smaller players, but still with the ability to block shots in the paint.
That's good.
Well, it looks like he's finally found his footing in this game. His first quarter was a real struggle, but he's got it going now.
Now here's West. Tight defense on him. 3-pointer, and that one's good. West has got 12. And for Noel, his offensive game is a bit of a work in progress, but I know, Clark, you love his motor.
I certainly do. You know, in Kentucky, they started tracking players' heart rates during practices to measure effort. And they never had to call out Noel in that regard. He's all effort all the time.
And the Bobcats call time here.
Well, there's a new ownership group in Philadelphia as of 2011, and in this offseason, they pulled the trigger and brought in new leadership in the front office. Looks like they're jumping on the analytics bandwagon, hiring the former brain trust of the Houston Rockets.
Jefferson's checked in for Biombo.
Well, let's take a look at where Philadelphia ended up rank-wise in the league last year. Second in fewest turnovers per game. Ninth in opponent points per game. And they were in the top half of the league in assists as well. Not elite level, not quite good, but okay.
Very well-coached team, Clark. I mean, you look at the numbers, and you talked about the few turnovers. Top 5 in the league, in fact, in fewest mistakes. So this is a well-disciplined, well-coached team. And when they're on their game, they're just one of those teams you hate to play against because they don't give you anything easy.
And back to the Sixers. I guess for the Wall Street ownership group, going mathematical is something they were, Steve, pretty comfortable with.
Well, it's something that a lot of teams are going to now, Kevin. The new owners, a lot of them businessmen, they want to turn to math to try to figure this whole thing out. Bottom line, though, is it's a combination. It's not just stats. It's talent, stats, chemistry, coaching, a lot of things that goes into winning.
Gordon for 3. Out of bounds. Philadelphia takes possession.
And a moment to check out Al Jefferson here. Great year for him last year. He averaged about 18 points per game, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists. And the numbers are pretty outstanding. I mean, we've come to expect it from him.
Well, he always impresses, Steve, with the work ethic, stamina, consistency. It's what the best players strive for and produce.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Well, gentlemen, a bold draft day trade for the Philadelphia 76ers, trading away their all-star point guard Drew Holiday for the rights to 6th pick overall Nerlens Noel and a first-round pick in the loaded class of 2014. And for the new front office in Philly, it's a clear direction. Go young and build from the ground up. The Sixers' record will likely take a step back this season, but the experts all love the initiative with this move. Not content to be an average team, guys. They're looking to shake things up.
Doris, a lot of promise on this team. We'll see how they develop. Nick Roberts. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Allen dishes to Roten. He feeds it to Carter Williams. 19 seconds left in the first half. Allen's shot is off.
Really good offensive execution. Nice pick, just couldn't get the shot to go.
Boy, you love to see that as a basketball purist. The guy setting a good screen and then getting the shot opportunity.
Now that is a quick bucket. Pretty good in transition.
That's right. That's exactly right. He loves when he gets the chance to get out and run. That's when he's at his best.
Here's Roten. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And we finished one half of basketball. 76ers on top. They're up by 8. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
Now, presented by Sprint.
We're happy to be with you this Tuesday night. Keep it here on 2K Sports as we break down the first half. The 76ers playing well up to the break. Neither of these teams are world beaters and probably look at the other as the best chance to win. Delonte West not having any problems out there. He's got a dozen points and he's been able to provide some nice assists as well. And on the other hand, the Bobcats are still alive. Outstanding bench production. They've gotten a very nice lift, and that's made a huge difference for them on the scoreboard. Their leading scorer is Kemba Walker. He's got 6 points and is also sharing the ball, picking up assists as well. Looking at the games that are coming up in the NBA, it'll be the Cleveland Cavaliers up against the Wizards in our nation's capital. A 7:30 Eastern time is tip-off, and another game that's coming up, it'll be the Magic out at Amway Center against the Celtics. A 7:30 Eastern tip time, and one game also on the docket. The Miami Heat will go up against the Nets in Brooklyn. A 7:30 Eastern tip time. Now let's head back out to the start of the second half. Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke Take it away.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway.
Talk about great numbers for West. 12 points, and he's hit the mark twice from three-point range as well.
Well, it's no secret. I mean, the more points he can come up with from out there, the better off they'll be offensively with their spacing.
Bobcats trail by 8. While we've got a moment, let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. On the court right now for the Bobcats. At the 3, MKG and Cody Zeller at the 4. Kemba Walker is out there with Ben Gordon, and it's Jefferson in at the 5.
Well, that's one way to get your second half started on the right foot. An easy layup against some soft defense.
Walker the pass to Jefferson. And Walker kicks to Gordon. Charlotte gets it back. Here's Zeller. Misses, and he wants that one back.
He's not necessarily a strong inside presence, but he needs to polish those chances off.
West with the ball, and it's Gordon picking him up, and he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
Nerlens Noel, 6'11", out of Kentucky. Big wingspan, about 7'4". So he's a player who has a chance to be an incredible shot blocker. Of course, following in the footsteps of Anthony Davis at Kentucky.
The first free throw is good. And back to Noel. Still very slender. The question for him has been, does he have the strength to play?
Not right now. He's got to get stronger. He's first got to recover from that ACL tear that he suffered. But if, in fact, he can get stronger, I love his motor, and I like his potential to become better as an offensive player.
There's a lot to withstand inside in the NBA.
No question about it.
Bobcats trail by 12. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin. You know, sometimes rest can do more harm than good. It certainly looks that way for them. They've been cold coming out and have yet to find the bottom of the net.
Now West, after the missed 3 from Gordon. For 3, Richardson. It's rebounded by Kid Gilchrist. Kid Gilchrist has got 3 rebounds now in this one. Now the pass to Walker. It's tipped. Takes the 3. The rebound by Young.
That's 5 shots without a conversion. A very tough start coming out of the half.
For 3, Richardson. The shot's good on the assist by West. West has got assist number 5 here. Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what Steve Clifford was going over with his team. He went over the offensive plan and that it hinges on running things through Jefferson. Coach has called on him to play a very big role at that end of the floor tonight, and as far as he's concerned, that hasn't quite taken shape yet. He also asked for a very strong effort on the offensive glass. He wants to see them cashing in on a lot of second chance opportunities. Coach
Zeller. And Taylor subbed in for Kid Gilchrist. With a break in the action, let's show you the teams that have been making their opponents work especially hard over the past 10 games. The 76ers, number 1. Second, the Bobcats.
A great teamwork and great schemes at both ends of the floor. You're seeing that from each of these clubs. So this is what defense is all about.
Now here's Gordon. 6 points for him. Moves back up. Mick Roberts dishes to Jefferson. From deep, Walker. West with the block.
This has not at all been the kind of performance they've needed out of him.
Uses the glass to finish the layup. West has got 14 points for the game.
Boy, this defense is getting eaten up on the inside, guys, giving up far too many free runs to the rim.
And they haven't been able to return the favor. I mean, their offense in the paint has not been up to par.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what Steve Clifford was going over with his team. Too many of their shots have been low percentage, he told them. He wants better ball movement on the perimeter to get the shooters better looks. Well, they need to make something happen before the start of the fourth quarter, and maybe those changes will do the trick, Kevin.
Thanks again, Doris.
You know, it was a rough year last season for the Bobcats. They didn't do so bad against the East, didn't finish with more wins than losses or anything, but with 18 wins against the rest of the conference, they weren't at the bottom in that category either.
Bobcats trail by 16. Oh, trying for it. Out of bounds. Philadelphia takes possession.
Let's check out the stat sheet here on Thaddeus Young. Good season for him last year, 10th in steals, and he was also a top 20 shooter from the field, so really a nice all-around offensive year for him.
And Steve, I don't think you can overstate his steal numbers. I mean, they're way up there, and it's a credit to his concentration and his quickness and his aggressiveness.
And a little luck that time, but it drops. Richardson's got 17 now. Well, as you said, Clark, the Bobcats with 18 wins against the East last year, not anywhere close to where they need to be. But, Steve, they did have a better winning percentage there compared to other splits.
Well, that's a bright spot, I guess, Kevin. If that's what they're hanging their hat on, though, they're in some trouble. And it's a team that has a lot of work to do to get back to the playoffs. But I guess it is good that they're in the East. That's the weaker conference by far. Had a pretty good look at the basket, but defensively they did a nice job rotating, forcing the miss.
Got a piece of it. Young with the steal. And even 3-on-3 break. Fires from 14. The shot's good on the assist by West. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle steps for Philadelphia?
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball.
And I'll tell you, the other thing that's been a factor is the transition game. They're scoring a lot of points on the fast break.
They get the rebound. Richardson, it's blocked. Richardson against Gordon. Jefferson, that's for 2. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Young's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Noel sets a screen for West. And out of bounds as the Bobcats gain possession. And here's a look at what's coming up for the Bobcats. They'll be playing host to Toronto for the next one. That game is the first and last of their homestand.
Well, I know I'll be looking out for the final score in that Wizards game. Should be a close one.
And the Bobcats with a new group in. Zeller, he's checked in for Josh McRoberts. Henderson comes in for Jeff Taylor. Gennaro Pargo, he's checked in for Ben Gordon. And Sessions subbed in for Kemba Walker. Now Carter Williams after the missed 3 from Pargo. Here's Young. It's rebounded by Pargo.
Well, what appeared to be an easy 2 points just never materialized.
And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Gerald Henderson, a 6'5" shooting guard out of Duke, guys, and we all know his father played in the NBA for 13 years and was a member of a Celtics championship team back in the mid-'80s. Gerald Jr. came into the league rebounding and defending at a high level very early.
And speaking of Henderson, Steve, you can tell he's really put the work in to improve his game.
Yeah, I like his game. He's shown improvement both with his shooting and his playmaking. I thought he was kind of a straight-line drive guy coming out of Duke, but now he's able to navigate his way around screen and rolls, and he's always been a really good on-ball defender.
Here's Allen. Another shot, and it's blocked by Henderson. And he recovers it, and they'll keep possession. Pause, no luck. Bobcats trail by 16. Here's Sessions. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now. And he can't get the first one. So he can't get either to fall. The 76ers leading by 16. Here's Carter Williams, and he takes the feed in stride and slams it home. His finishes can be dazzling, especially Clark at his side.
Well, you look at a guy who doesn't have the height of some other big-time dunkers, and it always looks better, and he certainly makes up for the lack of height with that athleticism.
Yeah, his leaping ability is just off the charts, guys.
Philadelphia with the ball. They're on a 17-7 run. Now here's Roten, defended by Parton. And Hawes kicks to Carter Williams. And here's Anderson for 3. Good! Anderson's got his second basket of the night. Here's Pargo. The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. Philadelphia ahead, running away with it. Live from Philadelphia, you're watching 2K Sports. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. And now we present our State Farm assist of the game. With 5 total assists in the game, we've seen some great passing tonight from Turner.
And his passing ability is why they make sure the offense runs through him on a regular basis. Great assists like the one we just saw.
Baby, please.
The 76ers leading by 21. Spencer Hawes out there with Royce White. Then it's Tony Roten. Then there's James Anderson. And it's Carter Williams in at the point. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. And that one's good. Roten's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for Philadelphia. Bobcats shooting terribly up to this point, just 30%. Some ramshackle offense play there. Jefferson, that's good. Philadelphia shooting 47% from the floor, getting it done. Roten, the pass to Carter Williams. Blocked. And it's the Bobcats on the break. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
Gerald Henderson coming off his best season, guys. 3-point shooting was one of his weaknesses, and he made a huge leap in that area. Shot around 37% from the arc, much better than his first 3 seasons.
And the Bobcats have changed their look on the floor. Well, going back to Henderson and the 3-point shot, despite his improvement, not one he leaned on that heavily.
Well, that's smart, because if you're not a great 3-point shooter, you've got to be very selective. And more often than not, Henderson would shoot the corner 3, but avoid the longer ones. That's the sign of maturity. It's the sign of a player who understands his limitations.
West kicks to Young. That one goes. Count it. And the 76ers lead by 21.
Well,
Is checked in for Zeller. Jeff Taylor comes in for Jefferson. And Gordon subbed in for Gerald Henderson. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Brett Brown said to his team. He spoke very adamantly about being much more active in defending the perimeter shot, saying no more soft defense on the perimeter. I want you guys all over their shooters. His second message was centered on getting back quickly on defense and slowing down their opponent's transition game. It's pretty late in the game to be altering the game plan, but they're going to come out with a different look here, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Doris. Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation. Philadelphia with the ball. West kicks to Young. Back to West. There's the dish to Young. There's the double team with Walker. Pocket 6. They get it again. Noel, and the layup's good off the glass.
But an 8-rebound advantage like the one they have now is always going to swing the score hard in that team's direction.
And that's certainly been the case today. Their rebounding has made a huge difference. Unfortunately, that's been the result for him over and over, guys. He just cannot find the bottom of the basket.
Shot's good by Turner.
They've been so efficient in the paint in this game. That's an area they've totally dominated.
You know, once they ID'd the edge they had inside, they just continued to attack it.
Charlotte again missing.
That's a shot that he sometimes struggles with, but you can't fault him for taking it when your defense backs off like that.
Count the bucket. 8 points here for Thaddeus Young.
Everything's falling now, and this lead continues to increase.
Yeah, it's just way too hard to keep up with a scoring pace like this. I mean, and that's why the defense is having a tough time.
So it's Richardson with the jam.
Oh, man, they are just putting the hammer down right now.
Defensively and offensively, it has all been working for him today.
Inside, it's tipped and stolen by Noel. Richardson with it, and it's Gordon picking him up. And Noel gets it to go on the assist by Richardson. 10 points for Nerlens Noel.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Now, you got to make a defensive adjustment here, Clark. Time to collapse inside, force the ball back out in the perimeter, make them beat you from long range. And he was one step ahead of the defense when he fired that pass for the assist.
West against Walker. That's tipped. And that's out of bounds. Philadelphia will retain possession. Charlotte making some changes. And the layup is good.
You know, they're being very one-dimensional right now, going to the post every time. But if it works, you don't need another dimension.
Well, they're taking this defense to task, quite honestly. Every one of their last 10 points have come in the paint.
And that kind of defense is just not going to cut it. Guys, they have to get a hand in his face.
Here's Philadelphia. They're on a 14-5 run. Right side, White. Doubled by Taylor. White with it. Now guarded by Taylor. Carter Williams dishes to Anderson. 5 to shoot. Now here's Carter Williams, covered by Parker. Back to Anderson. Dishes to Carter Williams. Outside, White. Feeds to Moultrie. Tries again. And it's good on the layup.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the 76ers.
And they could do no wrong today, Steve. That's right. This was a team performing to its Clark fullest capability.
Yes, very satisfying win for them, too. A game to remember, and on the other side, definitely one you want to forget as soon as possible.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year. Allen, that's good.
Despite his ineffectiveness, the team has found other scoring options, which you have to have when one of your main guys is struggling.
Taylor's shot, good. This could get even more out of hand if they continue to put up points.
What an offensive performance it's been.
And he gets the bucket.
Boy, they're extending their lead. It kind of feels like they're just piling on here as we come to an end.
Well, hey, let's just call it what it is. They are trying to run it up on them.
Henderson. No good on the triple. Philadelphia shooting 52% from the floor. Nice work so far from them. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game.
Well, at least the defender got his money's worth on that one.
Yep, that was an easy whistle for the official.
At the line for your 76ers, James Anderson. At the line for 2.
That free throw good from Anderson. Tony Roden, he's checked in for Carter Williams. Both free throws good from Anderson. 26 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. From deep. Mick Roberts misses. Guys, some great passing from him.
Yeah, it makes it tough for the defense to chase that ball around when it moves that crisply all over the court.
Yeah, it sure does, Clark. And look at the assist totals. They're piling up. I mean, it's been a nice game execution-wise for this club.
So it's Philadelphia winning this one easily. How much to be critical of with this win, Clark?
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win. And they did both.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Berg, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Jason, you played with great intent tonight. What lit that fire under you?
That's just getting going, just getting aggressive, cutting to the basket, but it's not the offense that we need to worry about, it's the defense.
Jason, thank you. Kevin, over to you.
Thank you, Doris, for that. And now for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Berg. This is Kevin Harlan saying see you next time as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Delonte West.
Look down